Blessings, everybody. Apostle Bernard Bolton, and it's that time of the month again where we are getting ready to release our word for the month. And if I seem scattered, it's because I'm trying to. I'm actually trying to broadcast on another stream, so I've got my phone, and I'm trying to get the phone operating. I pray that it's been an incredible month. I do want to say that. Wow. Okay. There we go. Okay. I don't know why it takes me so long to get that camera to flip, but it does. I did want to say that May has been such an incredible month. The word that I gave, wow. The Lord said this would be a month of crazy favor. Listen, just because the month is ending doesn't mean that crazy favor is ending, all right? By faith, I'm carrying that word with me into June. And I'm still believing now. I had a lot of just a lot of favor, but probably the greatest expression of God's favor toward me. It's not time for me to tell, but we'll be telling it real soon, because the Lord told me not only must I share that with the people of God, but I must also develop some teachings, because I had God just stepped in to a situation that only He could have and fixed it on my behalf. All right, so so we're bringing to you the word for June, prophetic word for June. And for you that's watching me on the live streaming, this is the first time I've done it on this venue, but for the last year now, from May 2017 to this year, we've been doing a monthly prophetic word for the month. Okay, so here it is. The Lord says that June is the month to leave, to live, and to look. The Lord says that June is a month where He is calling us to leave, to live, and to look. The Lord is saying to us that we are to leave the past. Okay, the reason why many of us are not advancing or prospering is because our vision is still focused on yesterday. We're still looking at the things that happened to us. We're looking at the things that disappointed us. We're looking at the people that hurt us. But the Lord says that now He's calling us to turn the vision from the past to the future. The Lord says, stop looking at the past. Stop looking at what you went through. Stop looking at what you lost. Okay. The Lord says, even many of you, the reason why you can't advance is because you will not leave connections that He's called you to leave. Now, I'm not saying that, you got to leave people just because you get mad at them and all that stuff. But the Lord is saying that many of us have to leave connections. We have to leave relationships, particularly toxic relationships that's full of abuse, that's full of pain, and the person keeps hurting us. You keep forgiving them. It's right to forgive them, but it's time for you to leave them. They are poison to your soul. They are poison to your mental and emotional stability, and they are poison to your very being. The Lord says that it is time for you to leave people who make it their business to tear you down, to curse you, to reject you. It's time for you even to leave situations. Wow, it's time for you to leave anything that is tearing you down. The Lord says it's time to leave desolation and destruction. Many of you are being destroyed, but you're holding on to people out of obligation. The Lord is not calling you to that relationship any longer. Your time there is up. Your time there is over. And the Lord says it is time for you to leave the past, that it's time for you to jump off of that sinking ship. It's time to abandon ship because the ship is going down, but the Lord has not called you to go down with it. The Lord says it is now time for us to live in the present. It's time to live in the present. All right. The Lord says, I'm giving you grace for now. That my grace is operating in your life for now. And I desire that you live in the now. My desire is for you to be fully engaged in your today. God says, I'm giving you my grace, which is power and ability and skill, okay, to live in today. So when you leave the past, okay, the Lord wants you to start living in today. No matter what you have faced, the Lord says, I'm giving grace to those who will come to my throne. At my throne is grace, and my grace is available to you if you will come boldly to my throne, if you will come to my kingdom, to my domain. All right? And the Lord says, I'm giving you help. All you have to do is ask for help. Help me, Lord, to leave the past. Help me, Lord, to leave the things that's destroying me. And the Lord says, when you ask for help, He's going to extend His grace from His throne to help you, to empower you, to raise you up, and to give you the strength and the courage to leave yesterday and live in today. The Lord says, I am calling you to be an overcomer today. The Lord says, many of you have looked at others and you have marveled at how others have overcome. But now the Lord says, I'm giving you a new story, and your story is titled, You Are an Overcomer. Listen, you just need to start praying in tongues right now to receive this word, because there is grace for living today. There is grace for living today. The Lord wants you to live today. He don't want you living in the past. The Lord wants you to live now. Now is your time. Now is the day of salvation. Now is the day of grace. Now is the day of opportunity. Now is the day. So today is a day. The Lord says today is a day to create. The Lord says you was created in my image and my likeness, and within you, you bear. The Lord says you bear my image and you have ability to create. And creativity is not limited to the arts. I'm an apostle to the creative. I love mentoring and father the creative artists. But creativity is not limited to the arts. It's not just limited to gifts and skills. But creativity, my brothers and sisters, is also it is also making something new. Even your decisions. You need to be making something new. You need to start believing that something new is going to happen in your life. And so the Lord says, live today, live creatively today. Prophesy over your day. Prophesying is creative because prophesying actually creates the future. Okay? Wisdom is creative, to live by wisdom. Proverbs chapter 8, I want to challenge you to read that. Wisdom is creative. And so when you live by wisdom, you live creatively. The Lord says, I want you to live in the present. And then the Lord says, I want you to look to the future. For I know the plans that I have for you, Jeremiah 29:11, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope, to give you an expected end. The Lord says, look to the future. Okay, now look to the future. The Lord says that you are to sow into your future. You are to plant seeds in your future. Every time you sow, you are planting and creating your future. I hear the Lord specifically saying that many of you are supposed to be in school, not just traditional school, not 2-year school or 4-year school for an associate's or bachelor degree, but the Lord says many of you are supposed to be in schools of the prophet. You're supposed to be in schools. You're supposed to be connected to mentors, to apostles and prophets who carry they carry the impartation that you need to increase. Sow, connect with them and sow into them. Okay, this is not just about money, but it's about sowing. Okay, sowing your desire, getting aligned and getting connected with those who can carry you. There are many non-traditional schools that many of you are supposed to be in now, because in those schools those schools hold the deposit for your future. Okay, build the life. All right, what does it mean to look to the future? Build. Get a plan for the next 6 months of your life. We got 6 months left in 2018. Get a plan. Start building. Just take this weekend that's coming and develop a plan over the next 3 days. And say, this is what I'm building for the next 6 months of my life. Build the life that you want to live. What you want to do. What you want to do. Build one day where you want to live. Begin to build the kind of relationships that you want. Okay, begin to build the framework that will house what you are going to receive for the future. Begin to live by faith is what I'm saying. When we live by faith, we look to the future, because faith is our future. So whatever we are believing for, we are building by faith the future that God is calling us to. All right, so this month the Lord says live, the Lord says leave, live, and look. God bless you. This is Apostle